Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's On The Social Show. This is the show where you take control and you send in questions for me to answer. After Saturday's massive result, 2-0 win at Leicester, we are finally safe. We will be a Premier League team next season, so we ain't got to worry. We can go into these last two games, hopefully put in a couple of good performances and try to get us another 3, maybe 4 points, maybe 6, who knows, but it don't really matter now because we're safe. But look, let's jump straight into this. Got a few questions to go through. Starting off with Twitter, at Martini_James. Should David Moyes still be the West Ham manager for next season, or should there be a new West Ham manager? And if yes, who? For me, look, David Moyes hasn't actually come out and said that he wants to stay. So we don't know. But me personally, I hope we go down another route. David Moyes done I wouldn't say a fantastic job, but he's done what he's coming to do, kept us up. That's all he was there to do. So he can take his £2 million bonus now and drive off into the sunset or whatever. But if we do go for another manager, I know I'm reading today that Rafa Benitez is unsettled at Newcastle because Ashley wants to sell. There won't be no money to sign players. Could we get him? Possibility. You know, we was close to getting him a couple of seasons ago before he went to Real Madrid. We obviously went with Bilic, and look, history writes itself. You know, if we would have got Benitez that season, who would have said that the bowling season would have been as memorable? So, but that's another thing, you know. But no, for me, Rafa Benitez definitely, and one other manager as well. I mean, if Fulham don't get promoted, you know, I like the look of their manager. I think he's done wonders at Fulham. You know, let's go down that route. And also, you got Marco Silva out of work, so. Let's just hope that they sort the managerial situation out as soon as possible. Moving on, at SD66 Dan, do you still think 35 points would have been enough? No. I mean, a couple of weeks ago it looked like Southampton, Stoke, even West Brom, you know, they weren't going to pick up points. But no, we're lucky we got them 3 massive points at Leicester at Saturday. Or if we'd have lost that game, who knows? We would have been right in trouble, especially after. Huddersfield picking up a point at City, and West Brom, you know, doing wonders at the moment. But I still think, I mean, it's going to come down to that massive game, Southampton versus Swansea. Right, moving on. At Lewis Tucker _94. Quite a long one. Out of these goalkeepers, which one would you like to see the most come to us in the summer and help improve the squad for next season? Jack Butland, Stoke. Fabianski, Swansea, Ben Foster, West Bromwich Albion, Fraser Forster, Southampton. For me, out of that list, there's only one, and that'll be Jack Butland. I think there's going to be a few big teams going after him, but if there's a chance, a possibility that we could sign him, 100%. But they're all good goalkeepers, you know. Fraser Forster is a good goalkeeper. Yeah, they're all good goalkeepers, but out of that, it'll be Jack Butland for me all day long. Right, at Malcolm Brown 53, besides Arnautovic, Lanzini and Rice, who else shall we keep for next season? Look, it's probably easier to say who should we get rid of than who we should keep. But for me, Creswell, I'd keep him. Antonio, Masuaku, Hernandez if we can. You know, we've got some good players in our squad. They just need a bit of confidence. They need better players around them as well. But yeah, I mean, Adrian maybe if he wants to stay. We definitely need another goalkeeper if Joe Hart goes back. That's one position we need to sort out. Is the goalkeeper situation, because we can't have another season of 2 goalkeepers being in and out each week, one in, one out. But yeah, for me, yeah, Masuaku, Creswell, Antonio. There's a lot of players we can keep. Like I said, it's probably easier to say the players that should leave, really. Right, at Sexy Lanzini. Now that we are mathematically safe, should the board be working on getting a top manager and targeting quality? 100%. Now we're safe. If they want David Moyes, why don't they just say, right, here's your 2-year deal, you're the man, and David Moyes can now start targeting players that he wants, and giving the board a list of players that he wants. But if it's not David Moyes, then I can understand that they're going to wait until the end of the season. But they should be talking. They should be targeting someone. It wouldn't surprise me if they're already in talks with someone out of work maybe. But as for targeting quality players, yeah, I mean, I heard that Stuart Pearce was watching Dendonka over the weekend. He'll be a great signing. There's loads of players that will be available. It just depends on the funds, whether the board are going to actually back the manager. Fingers crossed that they do, because if not, it'll be mayhem next season once again. Right. At Cockney Born, another long one. I'm convinced after staying up the board are going to keep their money in their deep pockets again in the summer window. Angry face. Should we not be making it clear to them that if they do, we will make next season unbearable for them like they made this season for us? Yeah, I mean, look, if they don't spend, then there'll be riots over West Ham next season. They need to first of all, they need to sort out this managerial. I mean, it seems like every question's about the manager, but I can understand it because it's a hot topic at the moment. They need to get that done. Then the new manager, whoever it is, if it's Moyes or someone else, they need to identify targets. They need to work on them targets, because the summer transfer window shuts early this year. I think it shuts at the beginning of August. You've also got the World Cup, so players are going to be away. So you're looking probably July time. So you've only got about 3 or 4 weeks in that window to sign players that, if they're away on international duty. So it's going to be massive. But if they don't spend, and it's another season, we start off poor next season and we find ourselves around the bottom again, yeah, you know, we need to keep making them know. They must know. They're not stupid. You know, they see it week in, week out, people with the flags and singing about the board, and so they know the score. So let's hope, fingers crossed, they do dig deep. Right. At Sarif I, how relieved are you guys that Fat Sam doesn't have a chance to relegate us this season? Oh, massive. Could you imagine the smug look on his face? I reckon he'll turn around, looked up the board, stuck 2 fingers up at him, because, you know, we sacked him, I think it was 3 years ago now. So yeah, he would have loved it. But no, I'm looking forward to now that we can sit down on that day, relax a bit, hopefully get a win, final game of the season, sun's out, everyone will be having a drink, and then us and the Everton fans can both sit there together, because they don't like him. We can all sit there together singing "Fuck off, Sam Allardyce." Right. At Pierce HXRRI, if a new foreign manager comes in, what do you expect them to do with the current midfield? Noble game time, Kouyaté poor form, etc. We definitely need more technical ability in midfield next year. Yeah, 100%. I said this on Saturday. Midfield is a key area. For me, it's it's the key area on the pitch, because that is where games are won or lost. You need your midfield working together, and there's been so many times this season that players have gone missing. I mean, Lanzini, for me, this is the first game. Leicester on Saturday was the first game in a long time that I actually see him wanting the ball, wanting to pick it up, make things happen, and he makes such a difference. For me, with Noble, Noble for me can still be a first team player next season, but we need to get 2 players around him that will sort of do his running for him, if that makes sense. I know people say his legs are gone, which I don't think they have, you know, but I like my Noble. He breaks play up, you know, he hasn't had a great season, but who has really in midfield? Kouyaté has been poor, but he's another player. Kouyaté. You know, yeah, we definitely need more technical players in midfield. And they're looking at players like Dendonka, and there's other players out there. I mean, Jack Wilshere's on a free. If we could get someone like him, as long as he's fully fit, it'd be a great addition to the squad. Right, at Rich_Noakes. If Moyes was our manager from the start of the season, would we be in a better position? And if so, would he be more liked? That's a tough one to answer, isn't it, really? Maybe we'd have been sort of mid-table. Would they have liked him? I think a lot of people did like him in the beginning. I think it's only been the last few weeks with the negative formations and tactics and substitutions and some of the things he's come out and said, especially about Declan Rice. It didn't go down well with some fans. So yeah, it's a tough one to ask, but you never know, you know. But I still think we probably would have been around sort of mid-table. Right, at Mr_Hammer66, why is Arnie so good? I think when we signed him, we knew he was a good player from what we've seen at Stoke City. I just think he's a confidence player. You know, he plays to the crowd. When the crowd are on his side, he loves it. He's arrogant. He loves that sort of attention. And he is a great player. Listen, his goals and assists over the last couple of months have probably kept us up. You know, he's a massive player. And if we can start getting other players that are on his same wavelength, then who knows next season, you know? Next season could see us pushing more top half and, you never know, battling for Europe. Right. At West Ham, Josh V. Now that we are pretty much safe from relegation, would you sign Joao Mario on a permanent deal over the summer? Good player, however, for me, 50-50. Jury's still out, as seems too lightweight for Premier League physicality when in possession. I totally agree. Me and Nicky were saying this on Saturday. Listen, if we could get him for a good price, I mean, they're talking about 30 million. No way will I pay 30 million for Joao Mario. I think you're right. He's too lightweight sometimes, gets knocked off the ball. But, you know, he's got ability. He has got ability. He's the sort of player you want when you're at sort of a mid-table pushing for the top 6, top 8, top 6. You don't want players like that when you're down the bottom. But he has done well over the last couple of weeks. I don't think he's as bad as some people are making out. Obviously got another goal on Saturday against Leicester. So his confidence will be buzzing for these next couple of games. Big game on Thursday now, Man United under the lights, and then Everton last game. So he's got 2 games now to prove himself a bit more. And also, it depends on the transfer fee. Right, a couple of Facebook questions here. Eric Bolden, surely the board had a deal with Moyes. If he kept West Ham up, he will receive a contract extension. With that in mind, what position should be the main priority in the summer if we had to have one? I'm not sure on the deal with David Moyes. I know that he was to the end of the season. Obviously, you get a bonus if he keeps us up. I'm sure there was probably a contract extension now. Whether they're going to trigger it, I don't know. Whether Moyes wants it, you don't know. If I had to pick one position now that I think that we have to strengthen 100% in the summer, it'd be the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper situation. It looks like Joe Hart's going to go back to City. Adrian, I don't know. He's saying he wants to leave. For me, listen, I mentioned it earlier in the show. If someone like Jack Butland becomes available, you have to try to go and get him. Obviously, if they're going to ask 35, 40 million, what would you rather have, a £40 million striker or a £40 million goalkeeper? You can pick decent goalkeepers up for a lot cheaper than that. So it's going to be a big decision. But the goalkeeper situation is one that we definitely have to sort out. Right, Kevin Davis. Okay, Stoke down, West Bromwich Albion to follow, and either Swansea, Southampton, or Huddersfield to go. Out of all of them, what players would you raid? What players would we sign from? They've all got good players, in they. I mean, you look at some of the teams. Southampton, Tadic, I like him. You know, Huddersfield, I love Moy, Aaron Moy in midfield. I think he's a great player. Swansea, I like that little Andre Ayew bloke. Look, Swansea have got some great players. West Brom as well. Johnny Evans, a $3 million release clause for Johnny Evans. He'll be a great addition to the squad. Stoke, you've got Shaqiri, obviously Jack Butland. You know, there's some good players in these teams, but I think that if they want to go for some of these players, then they're going to have to pay big, because you usually find that they're under contract still, and and also some of these teams ain't even gone down yet. So I'll maybe answer that one after the relegation's been confirmed. Right, Mickey Peters. Do you think that staying up has just papered over the cracks of how bad we have been since we moved to that stadium up the Hammers? Yeah, 100%. Look, I said if we win our next 2 games, there's a possibility we could finish in the top 10. You know, and then you look at it and people think, it ain't that bad of a season. You know, we finished 10th. Come on, like, you know, the football we've had to watch this season has been diabolical. You know, it's away from home, you know, some of the results. I mean, going to Swansea, losing 4-1, Liverpool 4-1, Arsenal 4-1. You know, honestly, it hasn't been great home results. You know, it would definitely paper over the cracks but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot of work in the summer, on the field, off the field, stadium issues. So let's just hope that things start to improve. And the main important thing for me, I'm not even worried about what the stadium looks like. I'm more worried about what goes on the pitch and the players we get and the manager and the new players. That's the most important thing for me at the moment. Right, Barry Carpenter. Now we are safe. Should the board announce now that the manager situation for next season rather than waiting another week or two? And who would you want and expect to see? Yeah, for me, 100%, mate. You know, they should be announcing it now. If David Moyes is the man they want and the man to take us forward, because look, it's not been great for him, especially the last couple of months, but he hasn't really had a chance to spend in the window and bring in his own players. So you never know. If they do keep him, they give him a summer transfer budget, he brings in his own players, who knows? He's got a good squad there at the moment, or good team, first team players there at the moment to work with. Few additions to come in, who knows? But yeah, I think they definitely need to sort it out now. And if not, once the season's finished, as soon as that final whistle goes against Everton, they should be saying to David Moyes, thank you very much, here's your £2 million bonus, see you later. And let's go work and get a manager in, because we need to get someone in as soon as possible. Because as I said, the transfer window shuts earlier this summer. They don't go till the end of August. I believe it's the beginning of August. And there's a lot of work to be done. Right. Ruben Blosh. Shaqiri, 12.5 million. Should we go for it? Imagine Shaqiri and Arnie on the wings with Hernandez up top if we can keep him. Shaqiri's a great player. I think Dan and Nicky don't really rate him that much. I rate him. I like him. He's a great player. Be good to see him link up with Arnie again. And you mentioned Hernandez there. For me, if a new manager comes in, because obviously Hernandez, I know he wants to leave because he's unhappy with Moyes and his current situation. But if a new manager comes in, he's under contract, they say to him, look, you're going to be my main man. I'm a new manager. You're going to be my main striker. I'm going to get someone to play out there with you, build a squad around you, build a team around you. But yeah, for me, 12.5 million is a great price as well for Shaqiri if we could get him. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that one. Right, Michael Halese. Sorry if I said that wrong. Did you enjoy the Counting House on Saturday? Yeah, the Counting House is a pub, Leicester. It was a great day. Do you know what? Even in the pub, everyone was in good spirits, and I don't mean vodka and Jack Daniels. I mean like everyone was in good spirits before the game, even though the importance of this game was also at the Stoke Palace game on. Even when Stoke were 1-0 up, you know, everyone was still singing. You know, it was a great day, all out in the sun. I think Nicky even went over to Morrison's and come back with a box of lollies, and he was handing them out like fucking ice cream, man. It was a great day. Few beers and it ended up being a great away day, great result. Right, Colin O'Toole. What's your favourite retro kit? Pre-pony ones, unless 90s are retro now. I think 90s are retro now, mate. We're all getting older now, mate. My favourite retro kit, the Boys of 86 kit, I love that. Adidas obviously done one when we had Big Sam, similar, but no, the Boys of 86 kit. My favourite kit, obviously, I love the Centenary kit, 95, 96. I love that kit, home and away. But for me, my favourite retro kit would probably be the 1960s when Bobby Moore, you know, the light blue with the claret hoops. I think that's an iconic West Ham kit, and I'd love to see us have that sort of kit in either next season or the season after. I love that away kit. It's my favourite away kit. Right. Ali Shah. Pierce went to watch Dendonka this week. Do you think we can get him, and should we be trying to contact Jack Wilshere and also attempt to get Butland? First of all, Dendonka, yeah, he's a great player. From what I've seen of him, when we was linked with him, obviously I do the transfer roundups, watched a bit of him on YouTube, and yeah, he looks an impressive player. A lot of bigger teams, I think Man United are linked with him as well, so that'd be tough. As for Jack Wilshere, 100%, if we could get him on a free, and the wages are reasonable, 100% I'd have him. But with the new manager now, you going into Arsenal, I'm sure Wilshere will want to hang about and see if he's got a future at Arsenal. And also Jack Butland, look, I've mentioned it a few times on this show already, 100%. If we could get him a good price, look, he's battling for England's #1 with Pickford. He's a great goalkeeper. He's played in a poor Stoke team this year. I mean, Pickford done it last year with Sunderland. He's gone to Everton. He's had a great season at Everton. Right. Philip Demicoli. If we let David Moyes go at the end of the season, should we keep hold of Stuart Pearce in the back room? 100%. I'd love to see Pearcey stay. I mean, obviously, if a new manager comes in, if a foreign manager comes in, he's going to have his own backroom staff that he's worked with in previous jobs. So it might be a bit difficult, but I'd love to see Pearcey stay on. I think he's great for the club. He's enthusiastic. He's passionate. But if Moyes goes, I think all the backroom staff will go as well. Like I said, especially if a new foreign manager comes in to the club, it'll be hard to keep hold of Pearcey because they're going to want to bring in their own backroom staff. But that's it for the questions this week. Listen, as I always say, if I didn't read out your question, please don't take it personally. We get so many questions. I just randomly select some. I don't even see the questions until I read them on the iPad there. But thank you so much for sending in your questions this week. As I said, we've got game Thursday night against Man United. Pressure's off now, but we still need a performance. We've got 2 games left now, 2 home games, one in the night time and one on a hopefully sunny Sunday where we can all relax, enjoy ourselves, a few beers with your mates, then we all go off on our summer holidays and get disappointed by England in the summer. But one thing I do want to mention quickly, Sunday I went to the Isle of Caton charity football game. What a day it was. Baz Cox was there, he was doing the commentary and he done a great job. All the ex-players were there. I got to speak to a few of them, a few people that I know from doing this channel, Konchesky, Jimmy Walker, Matty Everton, Kenny Brown. It was a great day. Few drinks as well. Loads of people there. And little Isla turned up, you know. It was great to see her there and bless her heart, you know. She's going through so much in her life and, you know, the amount of love and support that she had on Sunday. You know, we're all behind her, we're all trying to raise money to get her to America. So keep donating as much as you can, and listen, there'll be more charity events coming up over the next few weeks, months, so if you can get there and get down to them, show your support for Isla, it'd be massive. But look, I'll leave that there. As always, put your comments below on any of the questions that I've answered. Give me your answers. Yeah, we'll be back this week with Scott's got a busy week. 2 previews, Daniel Abbey's West Ham week coming up, fan cams from Man United, post-match pint Man United, fan cams Everton, post-match pint Everton. It's been a busy week, busy end of the season. But yeah, keep subscribing as well. Don't forget and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching this edition of On The Social. I'm Ryan Archer. Come on, you Irons.